We have to start admitting more, not judging, admitting. Let's get rid of the lies. Process of elimination first. Before we get on with playing offense, let's admit the lies that we tell ourselves. Let's admit the lies that we believe that the world tells us. Let's admit the ones that we keep under our vest for our own convenience because they kind of been getting away with them and they kind of been. Let's just admit that. Don't judge it. I'm not saying so I can lay the hammer on you and go, you see, you son of a bitch. I'm not saying that, and I'm not, and I don't think any of us should be doing that to ourselves right now. So there's a bit of amnesty and just admit it. Don't judge. Let's admit the lies that we tell, we believe, and the Kool-Aid we know we're drinking, the candy we know we're eating, but we like to call it broccoli because, hey, it gives us some identity and some sense of purpose. Let's clean the slate there first. And then I think we need to define what we want more of. The world tells us every day more is quantifiable only. There's a lane, there's 360 degrees. That lane that is vertical is packed with traffic. Everybody wants on that lane. We're being told retail, therapy, success, more money. It's the only way to win this life. Got no problem with any of that. But there's 359 other lanes in the degrees of 360 that have a lot less traffic on them, that also have a lot more qualitative value to them. So where can we scale wider? Where can roots go deeper? Define what we want more of. Yeah, we all need to pay our rent, but I'm sure you know, and I know a lot of people with more money than anyone else, the most money in the world, and they have some major gaps in their own sense of joy. And a lot of them, people will admit it in the last years of their life and go, oh shit, what was I doing? Why did I pack the U-Haul behind the hearse? So can we define our own more, what we value the most, and make sure that we're given that, we're tending those gardens as well. And it's going to be individual, and those values, that scale will change through life. My values are different now that I have kids than before I had kids. They are. Things move up in different levels on the from 1 to 10. So then defining what we value. Big on values. I think values are the way forward if we can define that and also rewrite our social contracts, which are very murky right now, what we can expect from ourselves and each other without signing the paper. Look, one that is consistent that I always come back to that I think we could all shake hands with more is a certain responsibility and how our freedom.
Like taking responsibility?
Yeah, a personal responsibility. And how you can't have true freedom without having responsibility. Gratitude. I believe gratitude is something that if you're more thankful for something in your life, you give it more value. It therefore has more meaning. And when it means more, you take care of it and you scale it and you're more generous. Gratitude actually leads to more generosity. And the end point, which I want to come back to, I'll come back to again and again and again. That value, as well as many others, is the most self-serving value. So I have a lot that I believe I believe all these values that we need to be, the more truly selfish we are to serve ourselves, the more we can actually serve others, the more selfless we can be. We just have to get those, we see those as a contradiction. Delayed gratification. Some would say it's a sign of maturity. It's just an investment in ourselves to just believe in ourselves enough to project, to say, I'm going to pass up the plastic ring today for the gold crown tomorrow. I'm going to maybe make a sacrifice today for a Monday off instead of the Friday off if I'm getting a long weekend. Give yourself the extra win, the freedom. Be cool to your future self on the back end, the long money. Whether it's investment in something for our kids or thinking about the next generation, or what we would do. I had this little simple situation the other day. I pull in. I'm going down the road out here. It's traffic, 5 o'clock traffic. Car's pulling in from off onto the highway. I let this car in. A few cars behind me honk the horn. I let her. It's a woman. We drive for 10 minutes. I'm going home. This woman in this car remains in front of me. I go to my house. I pull in my house. I see she pulls in next door. She's my next door neighbor. I get out of my car. She gets out of her car. She yells over, Matthew, thanks for letting me in. You need anything, let me know. So ultimately, letting her in was the selfish act. I got someone who's looking over my house, checking out my property, looking out for me next door. I didn't do it because of that, but you don't know when you're creating a sort of an army of soldiers. There's a way we can act where you can, and I'm not going to, some would call it karma, but there's actions and choices we can make where you're building goodwill out there that will serve you the most. Even though someone would say, well, that's a selfless act. Well, ultimately, I think it's a selfish act if you redefine selfish, which I'm trying to do. Responsibility, how that leads to freedom. Gratitude, how it leads to generosity. Risk-taking is one. Forgiveness is another. That measure, David Brooks talks about it. If I do you wrong, it's first year step to come to me and go, hey, dude, that wasn't cool. You picked my pocket. We had a deal and you screwed me over. Now, I'm a soldier for you. So forgiveness is actually really selfish in that situation often. I would say, look, I think we can all be a little bit more accountable to each other. It's so easy. No one's embarrassed anymore about over leveraging themselves. And I'm always saying, look, dude, just say what you can do and do what you say. If you can't do it, just say. You do me a favor by just letting me know. No, that's not for me. Thank you, bro. I just check in. We don't like to hear no. No, please tell me no. Instead of walking my dog with these yeses but never following through on it. You're doing me a favor, and I'm not going to be upset with you. So to be more to admit what we can and can't do. One says yes, and then if it's a no, they just don't show. Or you could have just told me no. There's somebody else I wanted to invite. I go act. I'm going through 5 filters: someone else's character, someone else's story, directed by someone else, lensed in a camera by someone else, and edited by someone else. That's 5 filters from my raw expression. The big movie, McConaughey, the big show, is the one that was called, action was called Once When You Were Born, and cut's going to be called Once When You Leave This Life. That's the big show we're all in, that we're all the main character in, our own show, and it is being recorded by the hands of time. Who are you in the show called life? Admit, values. How do we get more joy? How do we get more balance? How are we more cool? Cool is being yourself. That's a damn hard thing to do, though. So I like nerds more than dorks. A nerd knows who they are. Man, they're on the front row, making straight A's in math and arguing about Star Trek and shit. Great, that's cool. A dork's different. Dork tries to be something to everybody, and they'll be whatever they think you want them to be. Oh man, I don't like hanging around with that person. I can't trust them. They're fair weather on everything. I even appreciate an asshole more than a dork. At least I know where they stand. The real rubber of the road of if it fails is never as dire as we presume it was going to be. I've also found consistently that those people that do nana boo-boo you when you fall on your ass are on the sidelines for a reason. That the real heavyweights that you want to be around, that I know I want to be around, are usually right there helping you up or standing next to you and going, me too, man. Nice try. Shit. What's the next move here? And you're like, oh, yeah. And that's not misery loves company. That's actually, I think, more success, or maybe there's a better word, loves the company. Making a decision, I've wrote about this in the book, I do think, and I've had to push myself to do this, sometimes just making a damn decision and committing to it is the best choice, because not moving, that indecisiveness between two things, that limbo, you can walk that freaking tightrope forever. And you think it's going to last a week, and then it's a month and a year and a fucking decade, and then you're looking up and you're going 15 years later going, I haven't moved. I know for me, man, most things that I went after, that headline I chased, that decision I ranked, that risk I took, when I got there, the headline was not the same. Or I took a feeder on the road, but just the movement to make the choice, to jump and not fall, to affirmatively take it, just gets things in motion again, man. And all of a sudden, it's when things are in motion, now we're mobile, as you were talking about. We can call audibles on the way. We can meet somebody that is a new opportunity, because it just shifted it. It's like putting WD-40. I can have stuff in my life that gets stuck and starts getting rusty, and it's like, no, man, just make a move. I don't know which one, and make one. And often that happens when you're like, either decision that you think one is paramount and one's not. There's not that big of a difference. There's not as much of a dichotomy or contradiction between the two damn decisions we're measuring all the time, as much as we make it to be. And if it's the wrong one, the people you give a damn about forgive you for it real quickly. And I'm like, at least you were in the game. At least you weren't on the side of the, yeah, come on, I'm in it too. There's room on the field for the people that you want to be playing with. Greatest strengths can seem to be greatest weaknesses. Preparation is one of my greatest strengths. I also think I'm like, sometimes like, as we started off the conversation, man, I can point, aim. Before I shoot, I'm like, shoot, bro, go, take the shot. Who cares? Take the shot. You're prepared. So I feel like I can, because I can prepare forever. I'll never get tired of preparing. I can go prepare for the rest of my life for one thing and feel like I still could use more time. So I think it can keep me sometimes from taking a risk. So I have to catch myself and go, dude, you got it. Let's figure this out on the field. Let's get it in the game. Let's get live. Let's make that choice, that affirmative move, and play it live. As much as I like to prepare, I do take risks. When I'm best, when I'm most myself, it is the pursuit, because I don't like landings anyway. I like entrances and exits. I cannot stand destinations. It's never fulfilling. The entrepreneurial spirit of me hops up and wants to go, oh no, create a better reality. Yeah, that's not good enough. And I have to go, whoa, that's pretty high level for reality, bro. Appreciate that. Go back to the gratitude. Whoa, go back, level out. Because, that's a big balance, isn't it? You've got to be able to hopefully be get off to reality enough to not go insane. But at the same time, if we're not impressed, create our own impressions, which is the entrepreneurial spirit. And that's part of that. I think another art of living for people that maybe are achievers. Where do you balance that? Where do you keep updating the iOS to go, I'm going to create a better reality, or I'm going to keep chasing that? And where do you go, man, I just need to look the world in the eyes flat and see the beauty in it. And a lot of times that's where the inspiration will come from me, when I can level and go, oh, it's right in front of you, man. Just do it.